Welcome back to the Breaker Bros, and tonight we're going to react to the 2025 quarterbacks trailer on Netflix. Um, Features Joe Burrow, I think Jared Goff, and oh my God, I always forget his name, Kirk Cousins, who I think was on the same documentary maybe like a few years ago, because I think they started out with quarterbacks, and then I think they did 1 year of receivers, and now I think they're back on quarterbacks. But what have you heard about this series? Are you looking forward to it? What are you thinking about it?
I've heard of it. I'm not looking forward to it. I like my quarterbacks boring. You know, like the Simpsons episode with like way back in the day with like Johnny Unitas and like what's his name? Joe, the Jets guy.
Namath?
Joe Namath.
You thought he was boring?
No. That was like Johnny Unitas was like the foil to Joe Namath. Like, oh, this boring guy with the buzz cut.
I got you.
We want the exciting guy wearing fur jackets, fur coats and stuff. Not me. I want a quarterback that's boring.
I got you. Someone that kind of, I guess, stays behind the scenes.
I'm just telling you, man, when quarterbacks start dyeing their hair blonde, they start sucking, you know?
But he had his best year when he dyed his hair blonde.
I mean, if that's true, I'm going to ignore those facts and pretend that that didn't happen.
Well, that happened last year.
Oh, he had his best year last year? I would
disagree. I believe so.
They didn't win any playoff games last year. I
Well,
would say his best year was the year they almost won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I'm talking about statistically.
I don't care about statistics other than winning playoff games.
Okay, well, I guess that's one way of looking at it.
That's how I look at it.
Fair enough. All right, I guess you want to get this trailer started.
All right. Are you going to tell me when to pause, or do I just get to pause whenever I want to pause?
Yeah, whenever you want. That's fine.
You only have so many of these seasons.
New week. Let's go.
Start out your career.
Whoa. Goff's with Carolina now?
What do you mean? I think that's just...
Oh, no, that's a Lions jersey. Oh, my gosh.
Well, they made it...
It's off-season. Off-season. I don't need to know who anybody plays for what.
I think it's just that color just because he's the quarterback.
Well, but I also think that that's the same color as the Detroit Lions, so... My bad.
I'm going to be playing for 15, 20 years. It seems like a lot. And then you blink your eye and you're in year 5. Next time I blink my eye, it's going to be year 10. You know where we're at. The great ones make it work.
Get used to it.
Yeah, it's weird to think he's going into his year 6.
The quarterback, you have to be that guy that can make the line on.
We don't let anybody decide
I
this
can't
game
pause. Hold on. It's weird to think that Burrow's going to year 6. Yeah, I mean, they wasted a lot of those years. But
Wow.
maybe the offensive line's fixed this year. I mean, maybe.
I mean, there's... I mean, part of that, it's going to be important, obviously, because you don't want to see your quarterback get hit as much as he does. But at the same time, I feel like what they do on their offense, it's not... They can overcome a lot of those issues just because they get the ball out of his hands really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have the pieces, receiver-wise, even at tight end, where you can create a lot of mismatches quickly. So it's like... And I think that's one of the things maybe that Zach Taylor doesn't get enough credit for, is that over a period of time, especially when he's in his groove, like he'll exploit what the defense gives them because they just have so many pieces to play with. Because I feel like every year there's like a handful of games where the offense is clicking. They get the defense to bite on a few things, and they just have what you would call like easy touchdowns. So, but yeah. Oh, there you go.
Earlier, won Super Bowl.
Does that make you nervous?
No.
I'm a little nervous.
Kirk gonna throw.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, I want my quarterback walking the dog with his girlfriend. I don't want my quarterback going to like parties in New York City.
You don't think Jared Goff does it?
I don't think so. No.
I feel like he does.
All right, well, maybe Kirk Cousins does it.
Probably, yeah, maybe not Kirk Cousins. I can't see him doing that.
Yeah. I don't know. Just don't think the party lifestyle is good for NFL performance.
How about that, boys and girls? Getting back to the slick route.
A lot of
This
people
summer.
thought I was being cast away. But I saw an opportunity to have here the special. This life is definitely not.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were going to say something.
No, I got nothing.
And jokes will borrow.
It's everywhere.
How do it look? It looks good, all right. There's a part of me that just always wants to fix things. I overlet it. They're down. I do not want to give them the ball back. Clock is our friend. Man!
It's not all on him, but it's a lot on him.
Second turnover of the ball game.
I don't think
Sometimes you just need
Cousins is not starting this year, is he? I don't
No.
think he is.
No, Penix is the starter now.
That should be an interesting perspective, I guess. I wonder how they're going to... Well,
So they film it during the season then?
no. I think this is just all, like, leading into the season. Or at least it might cover a few games, but I don't think it's, like, the full thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking about that. Maybe in a way that could be good for the Bengals because it's like now they have an extra set of eyes going into the season. So maybe that will make players and coaches maybe start off the year a little bit more like on fire with more intensity. I wonder in a indirect, well, not really an indirect way, but I wonder if that will actually help them get into like a better start to the season, being under the microscope a little bit. I don't think they're going to cover the team as a whole. I think it's more of like the quarterback perspective. So I'm sure they're going to show it through like the lens of Burrow, but I'm sure they're also going to cover a lot of the hot topics that that's going on this offseason with the contract situation. Although, if you think about it, the Bengals have a lot of wins too, as far as like contracts. So I wonder if they're going to highlight the T and Chase extension, which I feel like they kind of have to, but I'm sure they're going to also dwell on the Shamar Stewart and Hendrickson holdout or whatever you want to call that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's about quarterbacks, right? They got to talk about the good stuff.
a little bit. I just bought a Batmobile. I'm pumped about that. I actually cut this one down out in the woods.
Hey, that was the guy right there. I'd love to be the quarterback of this offense. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, too bad, Tom. You're retired. This is what it feels like to truly be wanted. That's my quarterback.
Let's go, baby!
Oh yeah, I was going to say, I think that crowd was there for the draft.
Yeah, no, they're there for him.
When the NFL draft happened, somebody tried to break into Joe Burrow.
Oh, wait, what's that?
Let's go, baby! And we found there's an opportunity that would be a longer commitment. What's over? Tap it up. Well, I was surprised when
No, I missed
the
it.
NFL draft happened.
Oh, somebody tried to break in. So this is about Joe's burglary.
Yeah, that happened like week 3 or something like that last year.
Yeah. They caught them, though, so.
All
that's
right, yeah,
good.
yeah. I saw some of the photos. They were like the people that stole the jewelry were like taking pictures with it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's how they always catch them.
yeah, it's like, how much could you incriminate yourself? Like,
I mean, it's the thing is, right? All the stuff that you want to sell is incriminating, right?
kind of, but I mean, it's
I mean, if you're
jewelry.
going to sell like Joe Burrow's like championship jersey from like LSU, I mean, isn't it kind of obvious that someone stole it?
Yeah, but I would think if you're trying to sell the jewelry, which I think that's mainly what they stole, and I think they stole cash.
They stole a
but-
lot of memorabilia because that's how they kind of caught him, right? Like they got pulled over with I want to say one of the guys was wearing like some very customized like Joe Burrow like shirt or something.
yeah, but as far as the jewelry, I feel like you can kind of get away with that because all they would have to do is melt most of that stuff down. And just keep
Yeah,
all
but it's
the
not
stuff.
worth as much then, is it?
Well, no, but if you stole it, it's all profit.
I guess that's true, but I mean the problem was that they got caught in their car, right?
Yeah, no, I think they got caught pretty quickly. It seemed like.
Yeah.
Well, they got caught so quickly. I just wondered like when they were able to actually take those pictures that they took.
Like I think they took him at his house.
Oh, that's so goofy.
Hey! I mean, I don't know. It's scary stuff, man.
Yeah, it is. But
I mean,
I think that's why, and I'm sure going forward, he probably has more of a security detail, like an actual security team. That
well, he had, like security.
it didn't seem like he had what I would assume Patrick Mahomes or some of the other quarterbacks that make as much as what he makes now. Like, I think that's kind of necessary nowadays because, from what I understood, the people that broke into his house, they were targeting other like athletes. Like that was their whole thing.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because it's like you pretty much know when they're going to be out of town based off
Yeah.
the games and stuff.
Yeah,
So-
but he had security in his front driveway. I think they
Yeah, but I
they
think the
didn't
whole big
expect
deal,
them to like sneak in the back way, which I mean I guess is kind of obvious.
right? But I think wasn't the whole reason why they got caught was she, like his, I'm not sure if he was considered a girlfriend at the time, but the person called in.
Security personnel?
No, his girlfriend or whatever.
No, it's just a security guard.
No, it was the girl. She called in. They have like the.
Yeah, you can have female security guards. I don't know if
No, what I'm saying is the girl that he was dating at the time called the police. Like they have the whole thing on recording, record it. It's on tape.
Uh-huh.
That's. It seemed like it got past the point where the security made the initiation. Like it just seemed like they got past it. 'Cause she was basically
Yeah,
saying,
they
like,
went in
yes,
the back
bring
way.
it.
They were guarding the front door, and they went in the back door.
But even then, it just doesn't make sense because it's like there's so many things you can do to auto detect that, especially.
Now someone's there, so yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying like security cameras, like, but not only that, but like things like, what am I trying to say? Not like lasers.
I mean, Joe
but-
Burrow should take a page out of Chad Johnson and Baker Mayfield's playbook. Just live at the stadium.
It's not a bad idea.
You know, nobody's gonna break into that.
That's fair. Might be easier to break in though.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's house. Our backs are against the wall. Turn it back on now. He's going no cap. That's what we live for right here. When the noise disappears, everything is falling right in place. Let's go! Now we're playing.
Yeah, I bet this ends right when it goes into the season because I want to say it's like 8 episodes. So if it starts in
Mhm.
July, then it's going to end.
July 8th.
Yeah.
Was that Tuesday? How come
That's-
everything starts on Tuesday?
Mm. If anyone would know, it would be Netflix. So it must be the most optimal time to start a series.
Hmm.
Maybe Monday is like too much going on. People are not ready to invest their time into a series.
Hmm.
But then Tuesday comes around. I guess it's all good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Anything that makes it the time pass a little bit quicker until the actual season starts. Because it's always fun with preseason or even with training camp when that starts. Because then everyone's trying to figure out who's going to be the starters or whatever
Hmm.
with those actual position battles. and then people get excited with the preseason, but then usually about halftime within the first preseason game, people get tired of the preseason because it's just like it's not real football.
Yeah, no,
It's all vanilla.
I don't think I'll be watching like the Netflix thing. I mean, I don't know. Not excited about it. Hey, could you carry this for a second? I think I locked my dog in a room. He's
Okay.
freaking out. I'll be right
Sure.
back.
But yeah, I would say in general, I think it's pretty cool to see, I guess, the behind the scenes. To be honest, I haven't really seen either of the seasons. I want to say there was a season with receivers that highlighted the receiver position. There was another season before that that highlighted the quarterbacks. That would be the first season. I haven't seen those before, so I'm interested to see like how it highlights Joe Burrow. I guess his personality. I'm sure they're going to go behind the scenes and I guess see a little bit more if his interactions with some of the other players when it comes to like Jamar Chase, probably T. Higgins. It sounds like, from what I understand, the players are pretty close. That's what Orlando Brown Jr. said more recently. That I guess the core players, the main group of players on the team are actually pretty close. But yeah, that's the stuff I would be looking forward to when it comes to the actual documentary. Is just maybe seeing a little bit more behind the scenes with Joe Burrow's personality and how he interacts with the other players. I know that you were saying that you would prefer your quarterbacks to be a little bit more behind the scenes, but I don't know. I kind of find this stuff somewhat refreshing. Like I don't think he necessarily Joe Burrow that is he seeks attention, but I think it's also like I think it's important that people are interested because that kind of puts you on a scale as far as being the top dog in the NFL. Because obviously, what you do on the field and your athletic traits has a lot to do with it. But then I think your marketability can factor into a lot of that. So if he can show that he can be a star, I think that can go a long ways. Which I think he already kind of shown that is that I feel like when it comes to certain aspects in Ohio, especially from where he's from, like his hometown, and then of course like LSU, like I feel like him and Jamar Chase and Jefferson, like I feel like they're made forever down there because what they did at LSU was legendary.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's starting to do that.
But because they won, not because they necessarily have good personalities. I mean, I feel like if you win, then people just like you because you won.
No, that's for sure. But I'm just saying, like, to be like a superstar, you have to have a personality with it. And that can mean many different things. I think part of it is, I think there's an aspect where you kind of have to be true to yourself. Like, you can't just be who people want you to be. Because I think that's why people like Tom Brady. It was that he was...
You won?
Well, that, but his personality as well. Like, he was a winner. Like, he was super serious. And, you know, like, there was I guess, a way about him. So I think... I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, if someone that won but didn't really have that, I guess, aura about him. Like, you could just tell. Like, I guess with Tom Brady, it was kind of like Michael Jordan. Like, he kind of had that dog in him. And then that's what drew people to him. Whereas, like, maybe like a Drew Brees, right? Like, obviously, he didn't win as many championships, but he was pretty much considered a winner. But maybe he didn't have the same like personality as Tom Brady. Or that.
I don't consider Tom Brady like a dynamic personality. He just seems like a football player.
I don't think you necessarily have to be dynamic either. I think there just has to be something interesting about you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I don't know what social scene Tom Brady was hitting. Because, I mean, I only know about Joe Burrow because that's what they talk about around here. But, like, going to, like, Hollywood or New York type parties just doesn't seem like... I mean, I don't know. To me, football should be enough. Who cares how famous you are?
Yeah, but I think it helps though
I don't think it helps. I think it's a
to be
distraction.
marketable.
Yeah, I think being marketable is a distraction. Why do you have to be marketable? You can
Because the NFL's about making money.
You have a $500 million contract.
So you don't think
What are
it
you
helps
marketing?
that like for the Chiefs that their tight end is dating the most popular pop star in the world?
No, I don't think that helps. I think it's a distraction.
You don't think that helped?
No.
Ooh. I didn't initially think it mattered, but over a period of time, I realized, yep, it definitely helped more than it hurt.
I would say it hurt on the field.
Yeah, because they won a Super Bowl while
there's a
she was
difference,
there.
though. Like, there's a difference. Your receivers can do that kind of stuff. Your quarterback has to be boring.
You think Patrick Mahomes is boring?
Yeah.
I feel like he's just very similar to. I just think it's their generation, like Mahomes, Burrow, and
I don't feel
even
like
Josh
Mahomes
Allen.
is out there as much as Burrow has been lately.
I think so.
I feel like Mahomes is kind of boring. Like, in a good way.
From what I understand, that's kind of how Burrow is. I mean, obviously he does some of these things that puts him out in the scene, but outside of that, I heard he's like very into football and like that's all he does basically. Like his whole week is surrounded about how he's going to prepare for football. At least from what I understood.
Yeah.
Like I've heard he's, or at least from his parents, like he could almost be too intense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they even said, to a certain extent, especially during the season, that his parents can't even visit him because like they're too much of a distraction. Or at least from what I understand.
Yeah. That's weird, but okay.
Why would that be weird?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it'd be that much of a distraction.
I can see it. Maybe more from his mom's side, because I'm sure she's probably like overly protective. I'm sure it's got to be rough, like watching your kid get hit over and over. So I think from that perspective, it's probably just better to keep them out of your ear and just be like, because when you're at that level, you can't be worried about getting injured because you're going to get hurt if you're always worried about it. So I can see why that would be a distraction.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like stuff that people would write in the paper that doesn't make any sense.
I think either he said it or his parents said it.
That's just weird.
I don't see why that's weird. Did you want your parents showing up right before you're about to work?
Yeah, mom's here over here all the time. It's not a
Well,
distraction.
yeah, but I'm just
It's
saying, like,
annoying sometimes, but it's not distraction.
I can see why that would be a distraction. So I don't know, because I think when it comes to the NFL, it's very systematic. They have a process, and they try not to deviate from whatever that process is.
Yeah, I mean, I see how his schedule is regimented and stuff, but I mean, it's not like you're there 24/7.
I think part of it too is like, going from college to becoming a professional, like you don't need the same. Basically, you're just becoming a little bit more independent. I think I can see where you're still in college. You might have to rely on your parents a little bit more, but then when you finally, especially for him, being the number one overall pick, and he signs his deal, like he probably there's an aspect where you just want to be a little bit more independent. But I can also see where, especially his family, because they seem to be pretty tight knit, so they probably always want to be in the know. And I think for him, it's just, or for any NFL player that has close family members, I'm sure there's like a lot of information they want to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it could be taxing after a while, just be like, I can't talk about that, or really want to go into the details. Just like, let me focus on that type of stuff. But I could also see it the other way around, where it's really not that big of a deal. Like, just let people be. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I
I
think
would
go either way.
categorize it in. It's probably not that big of a deal.
Right.
I don't know. I don't find it interesting. I mean, even this conversation seems a little like, I don't know. It feels weird talking about people and their parents and stuff. Football players and parents and stuff. It seems weird. I mean,
I guess, but it's just the human element. They're not like robots. I'm just relating it to like any other person, because I can kind of remember that point in my life where like you have that moment where you just want to be more independent, I guess. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, not really that big of a deal.
yeah. Okay. Well, so what are your feelings on this, the docu-series?
Well,
You
think it's
excited about
interesting.
it? You gonna watch it?
Yeah, I'll watch it just because Burrow's going to be on it. I think I'd be interested to see a little bit more behind the scenes. I think in a way it could probably help, because with the cameras being around, I think more people are going to know that more people are watching, or I guess the player's perspective, they're going to know more people are going to be paying attention, outside of your just regular Bengals fans. So
It says it will give viewers exclusive access to 3 quarterbacks throughout the 24-25 season, both on and off the field.
it's throughout the whole season. Wow. Okay.
No, the 24 through 25 season. So this already happened, right? Because this is the 25 to 26 season.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
The way I understood it was just basically, I'm sure it's going to highlight what happened towards the end, or what transpired last year. But I think the focus is basically what's going to happen going into this year.
Yeah,
I feel like some of it's going to be live. Like, you'll see what they're doing in training camp. You'll see what they'll do preseason if they play a little bit, that type of stuff.
Well, that's the Hard Knocks is training camp.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's still going to be hard knocks, but this is just for 3 players specifically. I mean, it's already been done before. I just haven't watched it. The only reason why I'm interested is because Burrow's on there.
Mm-hmm.
Because before it was, I think the first season was Mahomes, Goff, or not Goff. It was Cousins, and then someone else. That was the first season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first season says was Mahomes and Mariota
Really?
and Cousins. Cousins, Mahomes, and Mariota.
That's funny. But it was Cousins when he was on the Vikings, right?
I don't know. Doesn't say. The show will feature behind-the-scenes content of some of the most significant moments of this past season.
See, I thought they were going to show stuff that's going to happen this year. Huh.
It might. I don't know. I've only got a paragraph of information.
Well, I guess we'll find out in a few days.
Yeah,
It's really
you
not that
have to
far away.
update me.
For sure. I'll keep everyone posted. I'll have my weekly updates.
Yeah, you have to break it down.
Yeah. Break it down in 3 minutes or less.
That's right. You have to do the 3-minute summary of the latest installment.
That should work. All right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to talk about, or?
No, I think we can wrap this up, huh?
All right. Fair enough.